Welcome back to Kiwi.com's YouTube channel. I'm Catarina, this is Rodrigo, and we're one of 2024's World Travel Hackers. That means we got 10,000 euros to travel the world this summer, and we choose to do 1 month in Southeast Asia.
In this video, we're going to talk about budget and how you can save money, and we're going to share our experience, what we expected to spend and how much we ended up spending. And keep watching until the end.
Because the best tip is the last one.
So what we were most concerned about was the flights and how much that was going to cost us, especially since we were flying all the way to Southeast Asia.
From Madrid.
So we thought we were going to spend about 3,000 euros each, but in the end, we only spent
1,580 euros each.
That was exactly how much we spent. And by the way, it was 9 flights.
Exactly. So Kiwi gave us 10,000 euros and we only spent about 3,160 euros on flights, which allows us then to have 4,000 euros to spend in accommodation, food, activities, souvenirs, in every single thing that we spent on the trip. And we still came back with 3,000 euros.
How did we do that? Well, Kiwi.com has very useful tools to save money on this. The one we used the most and we found very useful in our case was the NOMAD tool.
So the NOMAD feature allows you to put all the destinations that you want to go to. In our case, that was the United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore and China. And we put them all in the NOMAD feature and they organize it in the cheapest way possible. So always remember that if you want to do a budget trip, you should be as flexible as you can in dates, because that's how the website works to give you the cheapest option possible.
One tip that might seem a bit cliche is taking a backpack, but it has really saved us a lot of money. Like we said, we took 9 flights and we've calculated that if we hadn't been able to put it in the cabin, we would have paid about 500 euros.
Exactly. So we do recommend that your backpack is not bigger than 40 liters. Mine was 50 and we got some problems sometimes. But that's more than enough space, no matter how long your trip is, because you can just take clothes for 1 week and then wash it, because there's laundry services all over the world. So if you take clothes enough for 1 week, you can just reuse it every single week of the trip and you'll be good to go.
And something that doesn't come off as obvious is that when you're actually there, having a backpack allows you to be very flexible. And otherwise, maybe you will get to wherever and you would see yourself forced to either get a taxi or...
Yeah, with the backpack, you're always ready to go and you can ride the local bus and just jump from one transport to the other, and it's way easier. Also, do keep in mind that this is not the case in Europe. So the only flight in which we saw ourselves forced to actually check in our backpacks was in a flight from Madrid to Lisbon. So keep in mind that in Europe, the regulations are a bit tighter than everywhere else. Our
third tip is eat at a supermarket. And before you do that, check if your hostel has a kitchen to be able to cook. I think things like pasta with tuna, even if it's in big quantities in a hostel, I think it's a good excuse to like hang out with more people. And
100%. Just offer your roommates dinner and you'll make friends for the night for sure.
Absolutely. And I think other aspects you should take into consideration when checking the hostel is if it includes free breakfast. And then a tip that I was going to say before, take a Tupperware. Take a Tupperware and disposable cutlery.
Disposable what? Cutlery.
Cutlery.
I would also say that if you do want to eat locally, which is the case many times, then try to look for street markets and street food. In Asia, they're everywhere and it's one of the key things you must try if you visit. So we did eat out a lot. And also most of our meals did come from 7-Eleven, which is a supermarket chain, very common in Asia, and they have a lot of ready-to-eat meals. So make sure to know which supermarket is available in your area and which one is the cheapest as well. Don't go out to the first one you see, because it might not be the cheapest. Next tip has to do with accommodations. So obviously hostels are the most backpacker friendly option, but we did find that homestays offer 5-star treatment for 1-star price. We were treated so kindly, we got to meet a lot of locals and we had the best experience for a very cheap price.
Absolutely. And then if you end up at a hostel, I think earlier we mentioned something about free breakfast, but also see if it includes activities, not only because it's very fun and you get to meet people, but also because in some places getting around is very difficult and maybe expensive as well. So it's a great way to kind of do it all.
Exactly. And also, if you're staying in a hostel, make sure to text or to talk to the people in your room so you can save up in a taxi, for example. Lastly, when it comes to accommodation, we would say you need really to know your priorities. So a lot of times we ended up choosing a place with a swimming pool, which was a bit more expensive. And then in the end, we never use a swimming pool, and that's kind of money thrown away. So make sure to know, because for example, for you, a kitchen might be more important than a swimming pool. You would know better. So make sure you take that into consideration when you're booking your stay. Our last tip is big money saving tip. It's do layovers. So basically take advantage that you're already flying somewhere to actually visit the country. I've never been a big layover person, but what I would always do is try to find the shortest layover possible. Wrong. You have to find the longest layover possible. We visited Abu Dhabi for 24 hours, Singapore for 48 hours, and China for 24 hours again, because we chose long layovers. So you get to visit more countries and you don't have to pay for flights to actually get there. Also, some airlines have a special program in which you can, because you're doing a layover in their hub airport, you can get a lot of services for free, like the hotel and tours of the city. So make sure you consult your airline website before booking. If you follow these tips, you'll probably be traveling for free.
If you have any doubts about any of the tips we've said or any of the tips that we might have forgotten, please tell us in the comments. And we hope that this video has been very useful for you. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want more videos about how to budget and saving tips, make sure to follow
Kiwi.com on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We're going to leave all of the names here, and you can go and follow them. See you on the next video.